There's a hot ticket to Hawaii. So
it's a beautiful song, man.
It is a beautiful song, and we're here, episode 18. Very appropriate episode 18.
Yeah, you must be 18 to listen to this episode.
You have to be 18, because we're going to be describing boobs in a way that's going to get any adult just
This
ready.
movie was made for our friend Sean Pigeon. It's non-stop boobs everywhere.
There's definitely those movies where they find a way to squeeze some boobs in there. This movie...
They found a way to squeeze some plot into this boob movie.
Boobs.
Because literally, I literally think there was like, look, it's been 10 minutes. We need some boobs. Like, they planned it out that way. 'Cause every 10 minutes, there's a boob
right.
scene.
I wanted to look up, I meant to look up the poster for this so we could find some kind of
Really?
tagline.
I have it hanging on my wall right
You have
next
it
to
hanging on your
next to my
What?
Malibu Express.
Do you remember the tag? Do you remember the tagline on this movie?
No, I don't.
Because I would expect it to be something like, the movie's not long, but the asses sure are, and the only thing longer than that are the snakes. But there's a lot of long asses, my point. And it's a very quick
80s.
movie, you know? But I know you, we brought up Andy Sedaris. Well, we didn't bring up Andy Sedaris yet, but...
We brought him up on the last episode.
Yeah, we talked about
how
him.
he's the Menachem Golan of boobs because he makes all these, like, he made, I don't know, at least a dozen of these movies, these spy movies that starred Playboy Playmates and Penthouse Pets.
These are supposed to be spy movies.
Well, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Action movies, I should say.
I'm counting on you because this is the first
I don't
one
know
I've
actually
seen.
what these people were working for. They were the DEA, they were a spy group,
Right.
they were cargo pilots. I don't know what they were.
I know all they tell us for this movie is they're with the agency. So I didn't know if you... I'm not privy to any of his other movies, so I thought this was a common theme between...
Well, watching this, I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen a few of them, and this one included. And I noticed that I think we wouldn't have the Marvel Cinematic Universe if it wasn't for Andy Sedaris.
I think I know what you're getting at because there is some weird stuff I noticed in between.
A lot of similarities. Like, I noticed that I actually did not know this until I watched this movie, that these movies kind of, they interconnect. Like, because one of the girls in the movie apparently was not working for the agency in the previous movie. I think it was Malibu Express, and now she's a part of the agency because.
Yeah, just because.
Much like the Marvel movies, they're all interconnected.
They like to plant Easter eggs in there, which this movie was all about.
Right.
Lots of Easter eggs, a lot of fun for people to watch multiple times after they've seen the other movies.
And they fucking sledgehammered as many quips and one-liners as possible in this movie, like every Marvel movie.
Yeah.
We were bludgeoned with one-liners in this movie.
There's no need for serious situations or tension because we're going to relieve that a minute later with a nice quip and a nice set of tits. I mean, Marvel skips on the tits, but...
Right.
That's, yeah.
And then also, much like the Marvel movies, I noticed in the credits to this movie, the closing credits, there were a lot of, like, scenes cut in.
Yep.
Mostly of boobs.
Mostly
to make you stay and watch the credits, much like Marvel movies. You know, you're like, why am I sitting? And every time you do it, you sit there. Well, you don't. But most people who go to these Marvel movies, you sit through it, and then at the end, you're like, why the fuck did I sit through the credits for that shit? At least with this movie, you see tits for, like, another 5 minutes.
True.
So.
And, of course, they have the big reveal at the end of the credits. Samuel L. Jackson in a chair, and he turns around, and he's got the eye patch. So stick around for that.
Right.
I mean, that was interesting. I didn't.
They
realize.
don't set up like the next movie because I don't think they had any idea what the next Andy Sedaris movie was going to be. They didn't plan these out. They were just like,
no.
Hey, we got some Playmates. We got like some kung fu sleazy guys. Let's make a movie.
Based on how this movie goes, I'm pretty sure he goes out on a boat with a lot of cocaine, a few prostitutes, maybe a butt or two. And they just dream up the craziest movie they can think of with the most interesting, worst characters. You decide.
Yeah. I gotta say, I enjoy this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. This to me, you notice how like there's a trend now of making like campy, kind of in on the joke movies.
Oh, yeah.
And they always fall flat almost all the time.
Horribly flat.
Watching Andy Sedaris, they get it right. It's like classic the old Batman show. Batman and West got camp right, and I think these movies get it right.
They definitely do.
I had a lot of fun with these. They didn't, they didn't take themselves too seriously, but there were serious moments, but they were like cringy serious moments. So you were kind of like enjoying them too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I had a fun time watching this.
This was very much a Stars and Scrubs. People like to use that in reference to our old Tigers teams, whereas we had a lot of really good players, then a lot of really bad players, and nothing in between. That's this movie for me. There's so many great scenes, and then there's so much just filler.
There's a lot of
absolute garbage.
Right.
Like, if you did a supercut of this movie, it would have been 10 times better.
Yeah, but you had to fill the 90 minutes.
Hey, 90 minutes. You can't.
Even though I don't think these movies ever were in theaters. I always remember them from like HBO or something like that.
That'd be interesting if they ever did hit the theater.
Maybe the first couple, but I'm pretty sure they went straight
to VHS.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be just as expensive. I don't know.
But I don't know. I'd like to go into Andy Sedaris, but I was too lazy to look him up. So he's a guy who makes movies with tits in them. That's all you need to know.
I imagine he's like Woody Allen's brother.
Yeah.
Genius doesn't fall far from the tree,
right.
Type of deal.
He is the Woody Allen of boobs.
He really is.
He knows what to do. He's got a pair of boobs. He knows what to do with them.
Exactly. It's just how to frame them up. It's just how to get some like riveting scenes in there. Really put a plot together around a plot. A plot of boobs. No?
Yeah, you really went far for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
So, without further ado, let's just get into the trailer.
Let's do it.
A ticket to Hawaii.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii. It has it all. The awesome, pristine beauty of the land. The warm caress of perfect beaches. The tantalizing wetness of the blue Pacific. Hawaii. It's a great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to die there.
Sing!
4 of America's finest, ready and willing to pay the price for paradise. They're undercover, but not under-equipped. On this mission, there's hard flying, hard fighting.
Agents are everywhere.
Have no mercy. Kill them all.
This ain't no.
All right.
It's a
Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Rated R.
That trailer just reminded me of some of those highlights of the movie.
I'm still trying to figure out what a hard ticket to Hawaii is, but
I don't know, but I definitely would love to go to Hawaii, but I'd hate to die there.
ditto.
Be fucking terrible. So, I don't know. Do you want to open this up?
I'm kind of foggy about what did it open with the scene with the security guards, or did it open?
No, it opens with
Donna and Rowdy.
I called her Girl One, so
It's Donna.
I'll keep calling her Girl One.
You're a fucking sexist pig. I will refer to her as her name, Donna. I'll call her as Girl One. She got a name, Griff. It's Donna.
I can't help that
Donna, by the way, played by Miss March, 1984, Donna Spear. But I'll have you know, Donna Spear spells her name D-O-N-A, and Donna in the movie's D-O-N-N-A. So she's stretching herself in this one. She's playing a different kind of Donna. Her turn-ons were balconies, Sunday brunch, and waterfalls. I'm not making this up. This
I know
is real.
you're not.
I looked this up.
Good job.
Her
Good job.
turn-offs, manipulators, abusers, and dishonest people.
Well, that explains her character in this movie. That's why she was so rigorous about getting these bad guys.
Right.
They're manipulators.
Exactly.
You know, and they hate Sunday brunch. They were fighting against it the whole
Exactly.
movie. Okay.
So we open up with her and our male hero, Rowdy Abilene.
Wow.
They're,
I just called him hero.
They're chilling on a boat. I know, 'cause these people, you don't respect these people. These are real people.
See,
okay?
I'm sexist both ways. I just
you're
didn't
a piece
learn
of shit.
a
We get
single
it. You're a piece of
name.
shit. Donna and Rowdy are on the boat, Malibu Express. And
Beautiful boat.
they're just like...
That's actually a name I remembered. Malibu Express.
I wonder what that's from. And they're just chilling, and she's like, you know what? It's been 5 minutes. Boing! Whips out the boobs. He rips off his towel. Fade to black. They're fucking.
They don't fade to black. They start up with the... This is what kind of turned me off to the movie right away, was it'd be like close-up of boobs, closer upper of boobs, but they would be kissing. And it was just really awkward. Like, they try to build up the passion, and then they just kill it with just them kind of like...
What?
And just boobs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like,
God.
Can we move on already?
Well, they did. You act like they're the super long scenes.
They were 4 minutes long.
No, you're exaggerating. So
now,
anyway,
now we cut to your favorite police.
So
force.
they let you know what you're in for. Boobs, non-stop boobs,
non-stop.
So we cut to the scene. There's these two. They're either cops or security guards. I don't know. I don't fucking care.
They were Malachi cops. See, I remember the
Molokai.
city's name. Molokai. Whoops.
And so one's days away from retirement.
Yeah.
One's a rookie, and they're like, "Hey."
You never announce that in a movie. If you ever say out loud, "I'm days away from retirement," you're gonna get.
Did you
fucked.
hear about that Westland cop who was like months away from retirement, and then he got run over? So it really does happen in real life.
You made this real.
Oh my God! Yes, it happens.
So if you're ever
It's life
close,
imitating art.
Hey,
you're close to retirement. Don't let anyone know. Is what I'm trying to
exactly.
say.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're talking about weed, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a lot of like weed farmers here, but we it's no big deal. We let them go, you know, because and they give me a little weed, and I can smoke it on the side."
That's what's happening.
Yeah. So they just kind of stumble into this like weed like plantation. I don't know what the word is for, farm, whatever. And there's a lot of people.
Yeah, I remember him saying he always spots like a couple guys there, and they're usually cool.
Right, and he just like lets them off. He's like, "Well,
yeah,
I'll look the other way. Give me some weed."
But today he shows up, and it's a full-on like frat party operation. They have like all these dudes in Hawaiian shirts, one button,
tons of baggy pants. I mean, there were so many retina burning patterns on these outfits these people were wearing. I mean, it was Zuba's times 20.
If it wasn't so pixelated, I think I would have had to bust out my shades for this.
Well, that's a good thing, because one person did bust out their shades. Is the character shades.
I didn't even mean to do that segue. Fuck yes. Oh my God!
The best henchman of all time, a guy named Shades, who wears, you guessed it, mirrored shades.
Mirrored shades. Oh,
and he's always looking like he's just like, I'm awesome.
He's kind of got the Van Damme khaki like balloon pants,
right?
Tightly cinched belt and like a puffy shirt tucked into it.
Yeah, like a button-down shirt, like a puffy.
Maybe
and he's always got that shitting grin on his face.
Always. He's just loving business. He's
loving life.
He's in Hawaii. He's
smoking weed.
He's
holding
really
a fucking
weed.
Uzi.
He's always got that. That's what's giving him the big grin, that Uzi. He's always got it.
With a strap on it.
And he's just a security guard. But
well, he loves his Uzi, because we'll see later when he's on the beach, he's got to put it down. He's got a little
towel laid down for his Uzi. Oh, my God. Oh, I loved it.
So these guys aren't the friendly pot dealers they're used to.
Yeah.
And they just, the guys run away and they fall into the same trap that Jean-Claude fell into, the kickboxer.
Fucking the rope.
Rope that gets around your feet and he hangs you upside down.
Upside down. So they get found out, and of course, Shade's just like, show no mercy. Just loves murder. And That's
Uzis the fuck out of these two guys.
We get the first 2 kills. Couple clean kills.
So then we go back, and this is where you would call her blonde number 2, but I call her Taryn because that's her name.
I didn't call her blonde number 2. Girl number 2.
Oh, okay, that's better.
Yeah.
She's coming out of the beach, and of course, when you get off the beach, you got sand on you, so you got to take off your top and shower yourself off on an outdoor shower.
Naturally.
While she's talking to Donna, Donna shows up. By the way, Taryn, played by Miss July 1985, Hope Marie Carlton.
Of course.
Her turn-ons are driving fast,
Okay.
horses,
They do that.
and good conversation.
No horses. There's no good conversation in this.
Her turn-offs are smoky air, getting up early, and loneliness.
Oh, she's never lonely. She's never around smokers, even though they're dealing with weed people.
So we
Okay.
learn, because Griff and I have not seen the previous movie, which I think is Malibu Express, I'm not even positive, that she was in that movie and she was like a civilian, and somehow whatever hijinks she got up to in the last movie, that made her qualified to be part of the agency.
It wasn't. She wasn't qualified to be an agency. They had to put her into hiding.
That's right. She's
Yeah.
a witness protection.
So they brought her here, and of
But
course,
she does work with these guys, though.
She ends up helping them only out of the fact that she just wants to see some people die.
It's true.
She's really into killing. Her and Shades probably would have been pretty
They
good.
would have.
Yeah,
That
they
would've been
probably
great.
would have been pretty
That
good
would have
together.
been a great beach sex scene with just those two.
Yeah, if she were into smoking.
To see him naked but with the shades on.
Oh my God.
That like crazy fucking
I don't think
grin
he
on his
takes those slacks off. I think he just pops his dick right through,
face. You're probably right.
like a Mormon.
So they're like, hey, Taryn, because that's her name. Taryn,
Girl too, yeah.
we gotta do that cargo run, because they
Yeah.
also fly a cargo plane.
Yep.
Did I mention that? They also a cargo plane. When they're not dealing with whatever the agency deals with, they're flying a cargo plane.
And of course, they're super flirtatious with each other.
Right,
They're
well-
always like, "Oh my God, your tits are looking great."
That's how women
today."
talk. Like, that's how men write women talk.
That's definitely how a certain president would have us believe women talk.
So they're like, well, let's get in our uniforms. So they get in their uniforms, which are cowboy boots, short shorts, and like a baggy kind of like military shirt with the sleeves cut off.
Yeah. The only thing I can compare to, the easiest comparison, Murray was unaware of him, but Officer Jim Dangle from
I
Reno
know the
911.
character. I just never watched the show.
Oh, okay.
So I
I'm
know
sorry.
What you're talking about.
So yeah, Jim Dangle, and especially when Dangle wanted to be like a motorcycle cop, because he definitely put on the cowboy boots and was really feeling it there. So when I picture Andy Sedaris now, that's who I picture is Jim Dangle. I believe he was on set the whole time in short shorts. But the other thing, because they have on all the like utility pockets and everything,
right,
Steve Irwin.
That's-
Irwin
you're
rocked
right.
some shorts.
Yes, it's a sexy Steve Irwin costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He usually used like ergonomic boots. They
Yeah.
switched out for cowboy boots because
Right.
you can hide more weapons in cowboy boots than you can.
That's true.
You
And
know,
we'll find about that later.
yeah.
So they show up at the airport, and they're like, hey, here's this honeymooning couple. Also, this snake you have to take to the nature preserve of Molokai.
Yeah.
But what we don't know is that the warehouse morons fucked it up.
Yep.
And we forgot to mention that there's also a very interesting opening credits scene
Yeah.
where we see people in a warehouse and all these crates, and on every crate has the actors' names.
It
like,
has
written
their
on them.
names, and they're like tilting the boxes to reveal the names.
Moving,
Like
yeah.
it should have been used for like a I can't think of the word, but a syndicated TV show, because it was that quality of opening sequence.
Right. So while they were doing that, moving everybody's
That was probably their best plot builder.
while they were moving all the crates around, the guys fucked up and like knocked off these, like, 'cause there was a crate with a snake in it, which looked totally realistic.
Yep.
It's a totally realistic hand puppet of a snake.
It was awesome.
And it was giant. And it had like some clamps like holding it down, and they accidentally tore them off while they were like working the forklift.
Yep.
And they're like, so, and also I think the thing that said it was a contaminated snake that had been bitten by infected cancerous rats.
How I understood it was this snake could bite people and give them cancer.
I'm sure. I mean, why not?
I love this because people, when they get bit by the snake, they immediately die. So that's the only answer for
Right.
me.
So there was a mix-up, and so they load that snake instead of the normal snake for the nature preserve. But whatever, they're off flying.
They got to fly that couple out to Malachi.
Right, so it's Molokai.
Malachi.
And, no, that's like a biblical name, Malachi.
Yeah, it is.
But you're wrong. So we get another
Maybe this
needless,
movie's
like, time filler scene where we're just great fucking song. We hear the theme song, Hot Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah, this is where we get that opening track that we use for the episode here.
But it's just basically them flying across. I mean, if you're into nature, I guess it's a great scene.
I talked about how we have the stars and the scrubs here, and this is one of the scrubs. Just outside of the track, which is just soothing, like Yacht Rock Sean is always telling us about how he plays this, and it loosens the ladies up, is what he always tells me. And, tops just start falling when Hot Ticket to Hawaii. He sang it a lot better, too. He's got a great voice.
He's the voice of an angel.
He was probably secretly in a hair metal band.
That probably explains why he loves hair metal so
That probably
much.
explains why he has so much money.
And I'm going to unearth that video because I know it's out there.
Yeah.
Hair metal Sean.
We're going to find it.
We'll find it.
So
you're on notice.
Eventually, I don't know what they call the guy who was looking over the warehouse, but he's like, oh, shit. Dixon. He's like,
lovable old guy.
They took the wrong snake, so he's going to try to phone them in, and they're going to land and let the people out. And, of course, the people are like, hey, we want to be by ourselves. So they're like, yeah, we'll get you nice and secluded and get you out on your own.
Well, somehow Donna and Taryn, they wind up landing right next to where that marijuana farm's at.
Yeah.
And so they stumble on. Oh, also we also meet on his yacht, by the way, Mr. Chang.
Oh yeah, we get introduced to our main villain.
And so he is getting ready to pay for his weed with diamonds, which I think seems like a little too much money for weed. But I don't know. I don't know what the weed prices were in the late 80s.
Right.
I think diamonds are too much. So he's got this little model helicopter. And he's got this ingenious idea. He puts the diamonds, of course, in a little bag like you would do with diamonds in a movie. And then they look like those like eyeglass cases. I don't know what they were like. Cases he put them in. He had 2 cases.
Yeah.
So he had it fly off to the marijuana farm. He's on his yacht.
I imagine they put a lot of thought into it because they're flying that little RC plane from his yacht onto the land. So you put them in these metal boxes. There's probably some easy way to track those metal boxes, metal detectors or something like that, maybe a strong magnet. They probably had it in case the RC plane crashed.
Probably.
They thought a lot about this.
So the guys in the plant, the marijuana farm, are going to pick it up. Meanwhile, Donna and Taryn find it first.
Right.
And they're like, hey, look, there are diamonds in here. And they're like, and of course, Donna, being the pro that she is, we got to report this, Taryn. And Taryn's like, I want to keep these. So while they're arguing about it, the henchmen show up, start shooting at Donna and Taryn. So what does Donna and Taryn do? The only thing you can do.
Dude. There is going to be about 49,000 reveals of nunchucks in this movie. And we also talked, I prefaced that there's going to be some weapons hidden in cowboy boots because that's what you do. So girl 1 pulls out a fucking ninja star. Girl 2 pulls out a pair of nunchucks. So they're immediately just like, whip them. So
yeah, I think Taryn doesn't understand how you work a nunchuck because she just hurls it at the guy.
Well, there's a good distance between them, and they've got guns.
Well, that would be a great time to like twirl them around, maybe block a bullet.
That's a good point, but she probably hasn't trained too much on nunchucks.
Yeah, she's pretty inept in everything she does.
She's new to the witness protection program, so she hasn't had enough time to.
But not Donna. She knows how to work a ninja star. She whips them out of her cowboy boots, right in the guy's heart.
2 of my favorite, great villains in this movie because you had Native Hawaiian looking guy.
Yeah.
Wearing, of course, a Hawaiian shirt. Very loud, very ridiculous. And maybe just some nice slacks to go with it. But then,
everybody has some nice baggy slacks.
Then you have there's at least 4 amazing characters in this movie. And this guy's one of them. I don't know if he ever had a name. I think we call him Skater Guy.
Was that Skater guy?
That was Skater guy.
Oh,
because
okay.
the guy that he meets up with and gives the gun to.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I remember he had the craziest like Zuba pants on.
Dude,
they were like Zuba times 12.
This guy's wearing Zuba's pants times 12. He's wearing a blue polo, but underneath that blue polo is long sleeve camouflage. And then he's got like this dirty blonde bowl cut, and he's like 50, so it's like really crinkly and faded, and then he's got this sad translucent mustache.
That's
he's
probably
rocking.
why I didn't remember it, because I thought the skateboard guy was young, but you're right.
No,
yeah.
it was that guy.
'Cause that guy was like a real old dirtbag looking.
Oh
dude.
my god, these guys are great. But yeah, they're gonna get their ass kicked.
So they get fucked up, and then so Taryn grabs one of the cases, and then one gets knocked away.
Yeah,
and it's never seen again for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
it's just whatever. There's like $100,000 in diamonds. Just,
easily
I'm Molokai somewhere,
or 49 pounds of weed.
Yes,
I think that's the going rate.
Is that it?
Yeah,
but they escape, and is this what happens after this?
So this is where we get into the bar restaurant. We start to see more of the island environment.
Yeah, the colorful characters of Molokai.
We're building up, the characters, the cast, Molokai, everything going on around. And one of the big one of the big settings is this bar restaurant.
Yeah, Edie's.
Is that actually what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh shit! That was hers.
Yeah, Edie.
Very progressive.
Edie,
women owned.
Played
the bar.
by Miss October, 1985, Cynthia Brimhall. Her turn-ons are real estate, which makes sense because she has Edie's restaurant, pointed nostrils, and My Country.
I'm sorry. Was that pointed nostrils?
Pointed nostrils. I swear I did not make that up. That was on her Playboy data sheet. And she had no turn-offs. She's satisfied with life.
Really?
Yes.
But she's into pointed nostrils.
And her country. And real estate.
Jesus Christ. That's a weird turn-on.
Yes. She had real pointy nose. I think she probably had a complex about it.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
I'm sorry.
I noticed it because
I'm gonna sound like a creep saying that. The only thing I noticed about her is she had some ridiculous camel toe in one scene because they barely introduced her as a character.
Well, yeah. Well, she's the liaison between the agency and Donna and Taryn.
Yeah,
that's her role. And so we meet a lot of colorful characters. We also meet I never even caught his name, but it's like the sleazy maitre d'.
Jump on my side here. Don't bother with names. He has one we both agreed on this name, though. He has one easy way to label him. Are you talking about the maitre d'?
Yes, that was maitre d'.
Maitre d'. Yeah, I don't remember his name, but
yeah, he had the same kind of baggy slacks, like fitted at the waist.
He reminds me of Screech a lot.
You wouldn't get this reference, but he reminded me of Larry from Three's Company, which was Jack Tripper's like horny friend.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he was always like a sleazy kind of guy.
Okay,
but then we're introduced to Harvey Weinstein makes a cameo in this movie.
Harvey Weinstein himself.
He's playing a guy. There's apparently at the same time there's a professional football game. I don't know. They don't go into like what it is.
It had to be the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. But maybe it was like a copyright thing because they never mention it's the Pro Bowl.
And the football teams they use are made up too.
Right.
So they're.
Are you telling me the Dallas Steers isn't a real team?
Murray. This movie takes place on Counter Earth.
Oh,
this is a gore movie.
Holy fuck! That explains all the boobs.
Oh my God. They're all slaves.
That explains so much.
Wow, I don't know how we didn't notice this. How much shit is
gore is infested?
Andy Sardaris is a Gorian priest king.
Fucking hell! Fuck, you're right.
Holy crap! Okay, so Maitre d' brings, of course, the ladies over. I think he tries to introduce girl one to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And then the waitress comes by. Maitre d's like, look at these Peasley tits on her. He's always like, he's got the one waitress that he's always like just creeping on.
Yeah. Her name was Patty Cakes.
Wow, you remember her name?
Well, she was played by Miss May, 1984. Patty Duffick.
Fuck, you did your research. Good job, man.
Hey, man. Her turn-ons are aerobics, music, and hot tubs. Her turn-offs are sarcasm. That rules me out ever dating her. Pushy people, and dirty ashtrays.
Wow, everything about the maitre d' she hates.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's method acting.
Fuck, man. So
the reason we call him Harvey Weinstein is because he meets up with this woman and he's like, "Hey, you want to like go back to my place?" I don't know what he was saying, and she's like, "Harvey, you practically raped me last night."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, but I didn't totally." He's like,
exactly. He's like, "But I didn't." That's oh my god, and that oh my god, the fucking. Maitre d', of course, is like, why would you look at our wine menu? And I'm doing this hand gesture where he's like trying to put on display his waitress's tits. Miss May, was it?
Patty Cakes.
Patty Cakes.
Those are characters' names, Patty Cakes.
And so Harvey just drinks it up. He just puts his face
like,
right in there.
Can you get me a pair of coffee?
Yeah. I'll take a pair of coffee. Oh, my God. So...
That's the level of humor in this movie. Just to let you guys know.
There's a lot of that. Like, oh man, Jesus. Go ahead.
We go to the karate training scene. We go back to Rowdy. Rowdy's chilling on his boat, the Malibu Express, with our buddy Jade. Now, we're going to go into what's going on with Jade because I was confused by this character.
I was confused. I didn't realize who our heroes and who our villains really were at this point. I honestly thought he was like some kind of double crosser because he looks kind of evil.
Well, it's because his hair.
Let's get into
his
it.
hair. Yeah. I've never seen this before. I'm baffled by it. I'm confused. He had a combination Nang Chen tail and a black scorpion braid at the same time.
We've been talking about this for 72 hours straight.
Yeah, because
nonstop.
I'm part of the Nang Chen clan now, and you don't straddle the fence. You're either on our side or you're the black scorpion.
Oh yeah.
And this guy is like, so in my head, I have to rationalize this because it's fucking me up so much. And I'm like, well, maybe he was a bad guy at one time. He was rocking the black scorpion, and he's like. You realized the wrong path he was going down,
and
he wanted to atone for it, but he's not ready yet because it takes all the shit I had to go through to get my Nan Chang. He's going through like a probationary period right now, and so it's like an in between. That's how I can rationalize it.
It's just amazing because this guy's abilities, because he's using both the Nang Ten and the Scorpion Tail. Out of this world. Like,
right.
I don't mean to spoil things, but he gets shot in the heart later on in the movie.
Brushes it off.
He's got a Band-Aid over the wound, and he's just like, hey, let's go do this, man.
He's like, oh shit, I stained my high-waisted pants. Fuck.
It's amazing. What else happens on this boat? Because...
Well, they're sparring, him and Rowdy.
Our hero.
Yeah, Rowdy.
Yeah,
Rowdy
hero.
Abilene.
Okay.
They're sparring a little, and of course, since Jade has the power of two of the most fucking massive, Nang Chen and like Scorpion, he gets the better of Rowdy.
Oh yeah, the whole time.
And so there's horsing around a little,
and then this moped comes up the dock because they're out on that boat.
Right, and he's got like a little like styrofoam holder with some with sandwich in it.
Takeout box,
exactly. And they're like, uh-oh, this looks like because they're like Mission Impossible kind of, the agency. So
couldn't think up a better name.
They had, I always assumed it was the drug enforcement agency because they're trying to stop drugs, but I haven't seen,
right.
I haven't seen these movies in a long time, so I don't know what the fuck it is. So they're like, hey, there's a little secret message in this sandwich here. Pull it out. And what was on I don't remember what was on it.
They don't show it to us, I don't think. They're just like, hey, shit's going down at Malachi.
Yeah, it was probably from Edie's, the restaurant, when you think about it.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
So, I mean, of course, in true Mission Impossible, fashion, they have to set fire to the sandwich because it needs to explode. And
they should have ate the sandwich too. I'm really disappointed.
You figure, that'd be a better way to get rid of it than setting it on fire because the sandwich is not very flammable.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna write a message in mustard on a sandwich, eat the fucking sandwich. That's the best. Digest that shit. Smear it. Don't light it on fire. Just eat it. God, so dumb.
Exactly.
For being super smart secret agents, they really don't know how to exactly conduct themselves. I wish our Ning Chen Scorpion Tail buddy would have maybe lowered his trousers a bit too, because he was.
What, you don't like your trousers right up your nipples?
No, not really.
Well, I think he probably, because he had a lot of fucking petroleum jelly on his pecs, and I think he didn't.
He extended that to
I don't think he had enough. That's why I think he wore his pants up high, because he only had a little bit. Because you go through a lot of fucking, and they're on Molokai. They're not on the mainland. It's hard to get petroleum jelly on Hawaii.
That's a good
Hawaii.
point. That's a good point.
That's what the meaning of hard ticket to Hawaii is. It's a hard ticket to get your petroleum jelly. So he just had enough for the pecs, just the pecs.
Yeah, that would explain how his pants are able to stick there. Because you can't tie anything down to petroleum jelly. That just slips right off.
Right.
That's how you elude punches. That's how you shimmer and shine. That's how you fucking fly across the sky like a goddamn shooting star.
Sure. So we go back.
It's the only way I skydive.
We're going back to Donna and Taryn's apartment, bungalow. I don't know the fuck they live.
They've got a sweet rig. But of course, they're basically like sorority sisters, so they're like naked, tickling each other.
That's what happens when women get together. When men aren't around, that's what women do.
I think they start out in like the hot tub.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's where they do their best thinking. Because she was like, "Hey, we got to think about what to do with these diamonds." Because Taryn's like, "I want to spend them," and Donna's always responsible one. She's like, "No,
girl, one."
Donna with two N's. So yes, you're right, Griff. Because as Donna said, I do my best thinking in the jacuzzi. So they jump in the jacuzzi, more boobs.
I know when I get in a jacuzzi, I can't do anything until I get my dick out. So
they're the female versions get your tits out.
Yeah.
So I think they figure out. I think Donna talked her into like turning in the diamonds, but that's put on the back burner after that.
They do, they come up with their plan. They get out. Did they hear anything? I don't think they hear anything. They just get out and like...
Right. Then they go into Taryn's room, and she's like, ugh, got another one of those spy movie posters, don't you? And this is where it gets really meta, because on Taryn's wall is a poster for Malibu Express, the first movie of this series.
And a movie you think that girl, too, was in. So that's even more interesting. Like, her character... might have been in it, has a poster.
Donna with one end was in the movie poster. Donna with two ends was looking at it.
Fucking shit, see? That's amazing.
Layers.
That is crazy. So, during all of this fun hijinks, tickling, and like butt pinching and everything, a couple of thieves are going to break in. We got a travesty on our hands now.
Yeah, they both got like stockings on their face, the old school 70s rapist look.
Yeah, so we get a woman that breaks in and a man who breaks in.
Yeah, got like a China kind of muscle woman.
Yeah.
And you said she had nunchucks, right?
She has nunchucks.
And then the guy,
not at that point, but...
Yeah, and then the guy had a gun, right? Or a knife.
Yeah, he had a gun.
So he grabs one of them. Which one? Girl number one or girl number two? He grabs one of them.
Girl number one gets...
I gotta believe Taryn, because Donna's badass. She's not gonna get captured.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
One of them gets like a hostage situation.
Girl one definitely,
and they're like, "Where are the diamonds?" And like, we don't know. Like, we're not gonna tell you because she'd hidden them somewhere, and we never even learned where she hid the diamonds.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say cleavage,
most likely.
And so
one of them gets captured. I'm pretty sure girl number one gets captured by the guy, and he's like, "Where are they at?" She knows they're in the freezer because girl two hits her with that little bit of like, I don't know, wordplay or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where she's like, "I'm gonna put these bad boys in the freezer because diamonds are ice," or whatever she says, something like that. So girl one's just like, "Oh, they're outside in the garage," and he's like, "Bitch, they better be out there, or otherwise I'm gonna stab you in the neck." And so
and then in the garage is where the snake is, right?
So the garage is where the snake is.
Why is it in the garage?
fuck if I know.
I think you know what it is.
They carried it in
Dixon
there.
got a hold of him, and he was like, "Hey, you have this contaminated snake that was infected by cancerous rats.
And it's got
hold
a
on
cancerous
to
bite
it.
now.
Don't bring it to the nature preserve.
Yeah.
Just hold on to it. I'll come get it.
Yeah.
That's why." So in the fighting and everything, the crate gets knocked over and the snake escapes.
Of course it does.
So this great hand puppet snake is
slithering along. Girl 1 obviously doesn't find the diamonds. Meanwhile, girl 2's in the house, being I think she's being held hostage by the woman assailant.
Okay,
and she's having her way with her. She eventually does show that the diamonds are in the freezer.
Does she?
They all 4 of them end up back in the cottage again. I'm gonna call it the cottage. It's very cottage-like, right?
I would say bungalow.
Bungalow. Oh, you know what? I forgot you used that. Bungalow.
No.
I like that. It seems very fitting. Bungalow. And so they're held at gunpoint. They're like, "You're absolutely going to tell us where the other box is." But they don't know. They lost it way back in the first kerfuffle. So what happens next? The one henchman's outside waiting for them in the car.
That's our main henchman, Seth Romero.
Seth Romero. Okay.
Right. He's
like the number 2, though.
Right. Yeah, he's right under Mr. Chang. He's run.
Yeah.
No, what it is Mr. Chang. He is running he's co-main bad guy because what's happening is he's running the marijuana farm and Mr. Chang is buying the marijuana.
Oh,
from him.
okay.
So, and also in the while they're trying to escape with the diamonds, the bad guys, the one female trips over a cover to the sewer line at the bungalow,
knocks it loose.
And you're like, oh shit, Snakes can go down there. He doesn't. He just takes off.
He just does. Yeah.
And
he ends up.
So they're running to the car. Seth's waiting for him. He's like, come on, because he's got a very stereotypical Spanish accent. Like, come on, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Well, he gets spooked by the snake, and so we start shooting
at
the
right.
snake. And then the 2 assailants inside the bungalow. They're like, "What the fuck's going outside?"
Right.
They go out, leaving because they had the diamonds at that point, I believe. But then they end up dropping them because
I don't remember. We'll just say they dropped.
They just dropped the.
Maybe
diamonds.
it's when she tripped over the sewer cover.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It. And so they're like, we just got to get the fuck out of here. So Donna finally gets her gun, shoots Seth right in the fucking face.
She's like, fuck no, these guys, no, I don't deal with that. So she shoots Romero?
Seth Romero.
She shoots Romero right in the face. That man at one point had to have an ancient for himself because... Or probably a black scorpion tail. Because he takes a bullet to the face and he's just like, meh. Seriously.
Yeah, he's just a little annoyed by it. He's just like, damn it.
Yeah, like one of those Band-Aids you would have over your thumb or whatever where it's just like a little maybe quarter-inch circular Band-Aid. He basically puts that on his cheek. Yeah,
like
got shot through the face.
Like a razor nick Band-Aid.
Exactly. Man got shot through the face.
He's badass, man. Power of Black Scorpion.
Power of Black Scorpion.
So they're like, yeah. So then we have a scene where Donna's reminiscing about her dad, who was also part of the agency, and she says there's a picture of some bald guy, and she's like, "Yeah, I just think my dad would just be proud of what I've done with my life.
Yeah.
He got killed in the line of duty." She pulled out the newspaper clipping that says, "Agency agent killed in line of duty."
Agent of agency.
And that's basically filler because it serves no purpose.
It really doesn't. Later on in the movie, she picks up the photo again, but it's just like, all right.
Yeah, because it had gotten broken in the whole melee they had. So she's just like, oh, my father, reminisce, whatever.
So where do we take it from here? Back to the barstrand.
Yes, more filler time.
So much filler.
So we get this horribly unfunny scene where we're introduced to Jimmy John.
Jimmy John Johnson?
I don't know, but he's the heir, of course, to the Jimmy John sandwich
Jimmy
fortune.
John Jackson.
And he's doing he's talking to, there's some football players, because as we explained, the Pro Bowl's going on. So he's like, hey, he's like a drug dealer for vitamins.
Yeah. They have those stores nowadays. What were they called? Vitamin shops or whatever?
Yeah, GNC.
Yeah, GNC. I think there is one literally called the Vitamin Shop. He's the spokesman for that. Because he's like, I got vitamin C. Vitamin B's 1 through 12. I got this guy. Have you taken any D lately?
Meanwhile, all these football guys want is steroids, and he's just wanting to give him vitamins.
So this is where we kind of start to learn that Edie, because I don't think we really learn it in the first bar restaurant scene. We just see some of the creeps, Harvey Weinstein, the maitre d'.
Right.
Like Harvey's a rapist, which we knew. But hindsight's on our side on that one. But this is where we find out that Edie is kind of playing an informant role between Hero.
She's a liaison.
Yeah, liaison. Good pull there. She's a liaison between Hero guy and to the girl 1 and 2.
But don't we also learn that the bad guys have a liaison working at Edie's
Oh my God!
too?
Do they ever? Like that was
Michelle.
actually a good reveal.
Were you fooled by it? I was not kind of onto it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was just something off. It was a good job. I will say that, but something was off.
I don't pay too close of attention to those types of things.
I know. I get it. You're so what's the word I'm looking for? Asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're so evolved. I get it. So we'll get to that. I don't want to reveal it right now.
Yeah.
We'll reveal it later. But there's this mysterious woman who's working behind the bar who has this nice horseshoe pinky ring.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, she notices that Edie is going to her secret room with her phone.
Yeah.
And so she puts this little thing on the side of a phone.
On the side of the phone behind the bar, because she's working the bar.
Right. Somehow that taps into Edie's phone. You think if Edie had a secret phone, it would have its own line.
Yeah.
But no, they conference call
The
all
bar
the time
can't
with
afford
this.
multiple lines. That's money. I mean, they can afford the maitre d's sexual harassment lawsuits, but they can't afford a second line. So maybe it was a recording device, but basically they're all running on the same line. So Edie goes back to secret room to take a call with Hero Guy to convey the message, and Michelle's listening in and furthering that information to our boss people.
Right. Seth, who just got shot in the face.
And he's
just like, it's just a boo-boo.
So during this scene, what's her name? Girl 2 is going to meet up with Jimmy John Jackson.
Yeah, Jimmy John, not only is he a the biggest vitamin dealer on Molokai, he's also a sports announcer. So he's there for the Pro Bowl with Harvey. Harvey's like his producer. And he's like, did they just meet at the bar, or did they have a relationship?
They supposedly had a past.
Okay.
She mentioned,
even though she's in witness protection, she's like, I'll hang out with people from my past.
Oh my God, yeah. I want to let everybody know I'm here.
So they go to the beach, and it's been 10 minutes since we've seen some tits. So gotta get them tits out.
Again, they pop the tits out, and then it's just like still camera, 25 to 45 feet away.
To Hawaii. Playing in the background.
Nice smooth
jazz.
Smooth jazzy jam. And just kiss him.
Yeah. And zoom in on the boobs and then zoom out.
Yep.
And zoom back in.
And you make it sound like it's gradual. It's just quick cut to really close up on the boob and then right back out.
And so they basically fuck all night on the beach.
So now we're going to get to some real serious shit, because the bad guys are on to the good guys. And the good guys are arriving to Malachi at this point. So we've got...
This is one of the many of my favorite scenes of this movie.
This is the stars and the scrubs. That last scene, total scrub. Yeah. This scene, fucking A.
So... Rowdy and Jade are on their way to meet up with Donna and Taryn at Edie's, or maybe not, maybe at the bungalow. So they're in like a Jeep or whatever.
Yeah, they're going to meet Edie.
And so while they're driving down, coming opposite, there's a guy doing a handstand on a skateboard.
And they're just laughing about it. Look at this crazy guy. Malachi is amazing.
Look at those Zupas. Oh, my God.
Oh, I love this place.
So you're thinking, this is...
That was a real stunt, too. He was doing that
shit.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And so they pass the guy, and the guy on the skateboard comes up to these other guys in a car, and he's like, quick, hand me that Uzi and that blow-up doll.
Of course, it's our buddies from earlier. It's
Right.
the native Hawaiian, and it's fucking
Dirtbag guy. I don't know.
Zubaz McGee.
Surfer boy. I don't know. So I don't know why he needed a blow up doll. I don't know.
Dude, telling you, it was because he gets like an assault rifle. For the first time, they don't use an Uzi in this movie, which he could have like maybe hit behind his back. But he's skating like normal now with his feet. And he's got the blow-up doll, and he's concealing
This
the
is
gun.
where I get confused, because, okay, in the first, when he's doing the handstand, they pass each other.
Yeah, they pass each other.
And then somehow he gets in front of them again?
I don't remember it happening, but maybe the guy picked him up in the Jeep and drove him forward somehow.
They could have done that.
I
think, I'm not joking, I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he gets in front of
how the physics
he gets in front of Jade and Rowdy again. And he starts just blasting them with his fucking machine gun.
So he fucks up their Jeep, and I mentioned it earlier. He shoots Nang Chen Scorpion guy.
Right. That's where he gets shot. Jade.
He shoots Jade in the heart, and Jade's just like, I have 4 hearts now. I got a Nang Chen.
He's so badass. He has time to actually make fun of Rowdy. There's a running gag how Rowdy can't shoot for shit.
Yeah.
Except when he's got a rocket launcher.
And except, his line was like, I can't hit a moving target unless I'm using a rocket launcher.
So he just whips it out, blows fucking Skater Boy away.
Oh my god!
And insult to injury, blows the fucking blow up doll away.
The blow up doll that is sailing in the sky,
filled with helium for some reason.
Yeah. And of course, while they're driving away, the two of them don't care that they were just shot at, because. Like in any good
the average day at the office
exactly.
for Rowdy and Jade.
Like any good action movie, what would normally be serious trauma you'd have PTSD about probably is more like a sprained ankle. You walk it off, you're good. You have a quick laugh, a couple drinks, you're fine. So they're laughing, they're just driving off.
They're like, oh, fuck, I guess I got to go to the hospital.
I think it was because like the car was fucked up, but they were like, oh shit, I guess we should grab that skateboard. What happened to that skateboard? There was a still shot of the skateboard just drifting off over the sunset for 2 minutes.
Oh, we got it filled 90 minutes.
They got it filled 90 minutes.
But even though he brushes off the heart shot, he's like, maybe I need a Band-Aid, so we'll go to the fucking hospital.
That's true. And
then also, I want to mention, there's also another great joke where Jade and Rowdy are talking about Jade's first wife.
Yeah.
And Jade's like, yeah, my neighbor caught my wife mowing the lawn stark naked.
Yep.
Oh, really? Well, what did your neighbor say? I guess you must have married her for her money. And I had to think. I didn't even understand it for a second.
I don't understand it.
I think what it means is his wife was gross naked, and it wasn't like you. When you think of it, you think it's gonna be a hot chick naked, and then it's like, oh, I guess he married her.
Wait, he married for money?
Yes, because she was not hot. That's the joke.
Why would Hero do that though?
Hero did and Jade did.
Oh, Jade did.
Yeah. Well, we just
believe
me, the joke was even less funny than we made it sound like.
That was because of his past, the Black Scorpion past, man.
Probably.
He was just an evil scribe. That's probably how he could afford the $249
10 payments.
Yeah,
easy payments. $249.99.
He couldn't figure out how to make the payment, so he married this gross woman to do it for him.
Exactly. So they head off. Somehow they head off. Even their car's totaled. They head off to the.
They walk
to the hospital.
Yeah, and they get a chance to phone in Edie. Edie gets wiretapped again.
Yeah, goddamn Michelle.
This is where we're gonna get the reveal.
Right.
So
Michelle's like, I gotta tell these people in person what's happening.
And Murray, it's been a long time since we've seen some tits, since the beach scene. So
yeah, man, it's been like 6 minutes.
Edie's gotta go change, and
by change we mean gender change, because Michelle was a man. Oh, we're talking about Edie. I forgot.
I'm talking about
Edie. Well, Edie's a woman. She's got pointy nostrils. That's right. There was 2 boob scenes in a row. That threw me off.
There was. Oh,
so Edie goes to chits change. She just gets naked.
Yeah, she gets naked,
flaunting her pointy nostrils.
Yeah,
and that's where she had the camel toe, right?
Yeah, she pulls up those jeans that go past her belly button, and it's just like, you could have loosened them up a little bit because
So we have 2 changing scenes in a row,
and of course, no woman in this movie is wearing a bra, so it's just like she throws on a halter top, and it's constantly like right on that precipice of falling out.
Right. So you're right. So Edie gets changed. Meanwhile, Michelle, or should I say, Michael, gets changed.
Her, yep.
He goes to where I guess the waitresses get changed, and he starts ripping off his.
I like that it's like, I'm sorry, a whole stripper, like, whenever you see a movie where it's like a strip club and they have like the big mirrors and the lighting, the backstage area, that's basically what this bar restaurant had.
Yeah, like the mirror with like the light bulbs around them, that kind of look.
And so Michelle sits down and she's about to start undressing and another woman comes in because
Patty Cake, the waitress from before, comes in.
Oh, that was her?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So she's topless, and she gives Michael, whatever, a whole spiel on the importance of firm breasts.
Yeah, this whole movie is really, it body shames women a lot. And so he starts telling Michelle, who's actually Michael, so I don't know.
Was Michelle Michael in the process of changing? Was he still Michelle at this time?
He was still Michelle, so she doesn't know that. Michelle is Michael.
So once again, this is just another filler scene, and it's a double whammy: filler scene and tits.
Yep, it's moving the plot along, but it's also giving us some tits.
So it's kind of slowing. Like I don't know why Michelle can't just leave as Michelle. Why does he have to get out of drag?
I don't know.
But anyway,
I guess he doesn't want to be seen going into the van. I just love that after Patty Cake gives her a whole spiel about how she needs to keep fit, and she's like, hey,
care about her health.
Great tits are a great asset. And Michael says something along the lines of, yeah, I'll remember that one, because it's a man.
Right. So Michelle becomes Michael, who, by the way, looks like the villain from RoboCop, Clarence Boddicker. It's a bald guy with glasses.
A.K.A. that's Red Foreman, right?
Yeah,
Bitches
Red Foreman.
Leave. Yeah.
Bitches leave. And he jumps in the van with the muscle lady, Seth's muscle lady, and the other henchman guy.
Yeah, and they're like, we got to go cut her off. She's going here. She was going to catch or pick up Hero and Jade.
Right.
So
Rowdy.
like, here's where she's going. We need to cut him off. But before we go there, we got to return to our innocent bystanders. Do you remember Innocent Bystanders from early on in the movie?
I do. The honeymooning couple.
The honeymooning couple who are just there to have some fun.
Doing a little photo session with the Polaroid.
Just, honey, why don't you turn a little bit more? Yeah, puff your chest out. Yeah,
come on, there's nobody here. You can,
It's no big deal.
I was shocked there was no boob scene here.
I know.
She didn't get paid enough, this actress.
Exactly. The photo session was already taking a while, so I was like, there's going to be a boob reveal. There's no way they're having a 3-minute photo session without boobs revealing.
But instead, there's a snake reveal, because you've been wondering where our snake's been at.
The goddamn snake.
So the snake pops up and just attacks the couple. You don't really see anything. You just hear like, ah.
Yeah, the one person gets bit, and then the other person grabs the camera, and they take a quick shot. You hear pa-ching! And then and then
so then we cut to Michael and the crew running Edie off the road and kidnapping her.
We still have a little bit more side road to cover.
We do?
One of our best, like Jimmy John Jackson, because he needed backstory for some reason. Oh my God! Like, why? I don't know why I bothered to cover this. I should have just let you skip forward. But they had to give Jimmy John Jackson like a story for some reason, and bring Harvey Weinstein into it because he's the director of a TV show. And Jimmy John's interviewing 2 football players, and they're on live TV, and he's like, hey,
this could make or break Jimmy John's career, this interview.
Yeah.
This one interview.
And he's like, so, Tommy Blue Shoes McGee, you threw the touchdown pass, and these guys have been drinking Mai Tais all day. They're fucking toasted. And they just start throwing out some anti-white establishment shit. And you just got Jimmy Jack like pulling his neck out.
Well, you forget he drops the N-bomb, which it's okay because he's a black guy.
Yeah.
So, and he just Jimmy Jack's like, my career!
Their jaws drop. He's just like, fuck. Harvey Weinstein comes over. He's like, we're so fucked. And they get bailed out. they find
it
out
turns
the
out the satellite was down,
Yeah.
and we just wasted your time and our time. That was
But it comes up. That comes up in a minute. But one of my favorite dumb lines from this movie comes up. But yeah. So go ahead and go into our tension increase here.
I don't know what is our tension increasing. Is this where Edie gets? So Edie gets run off the road by Michael and crew. They kidnap her. They take her back to Seth Romero's lair, and I don't fucking remember. What happened?
We got all the moving parts. So our big three factors here is our hero team getting together, and the heroes, of course, after Edie doesn't show up after a while, they're like, "Well, shit, let's just go hitch a ride," and. This
That's
is,
right.
I believe, when our girls start going on surveillance.
Yes, they're
girl
doing.
one and girl
they're
two.
doing some surveillance beforehand. So they go back to the where the pot farm is, and then so we get to see our favorite character in the movie, Shades.
Yeah.
So he's on the beach, and we know he's playing a very intense game of frisbee with Colleen, the girl who just lives by the beach.
Yep. I'm surprised. They do a lot of character building via undressing, and they obviously didn't care to build up Colleen's character. They just give her a name.
Yeah, she's just Colleen.
Just Colleen.
And
Has a dog.
And this is where we also learned that Shades has a tell. When he's really into frisbee, he's got to put his Uzi down on a little blanket he has for his Uzi.
I want people to imagine Shades like I do, where if you can think of Radiohead's cover for, I believe the album's called The Bends, and it's just like this sad-looking figure with his jaw dropped and, kind of tilted back. That's pretty much Shades all the time, but he's in joy.
But he's like ecstatic.
He's ecstatic. It's just that jaw open and like, ah.
But also, so they're looking at binoculars and they're also recording it, and like Donna's like, "Hey, Taryn, how do you zoom in on this thing?" Well, you push the red button. So she zooms in. She's like, "Holy shit, they got Edie."
It's the saddest looking recording equipment ever. Like, I'm pretty sure the binoculars are more powerful.
For 87, that was the most high-tech recording equipment you could ever have.
It's sports yellow. It's like...
Yeah, it's inconspicuous.
Fun. Okay. So they're getting all this information, but while they're getting it, I believe they stumble upon a couple of dead bodies.
Holy shit, they do.
And this... Apparently, seriously, this snake's bite just destroys you.
Yeah,
it's like acid in your body, and you've got...
It's like Walking Dead looking shit.
Yeah, you got half an hour, and then you just start
dissolving.
tearing. Yeah, dissolving.
Yeah.
And
so they're like, "Oh my god!" And then they immediately forget about those people. It's like, "Well, that's tough. Sucks to be them. Fuck it."
Yeah,
and they go, "We got a mission to do. Edie's fucking got kidnapped."
Yeah, so they just
go back to the bungalow.
Hightail it back to the
Meet
bungalow.
up with Jade and Rowdy.
Exactly.
Time to gear up, motherfuckers.
We're on track again, aren't we?
Yes,
we
are.
Oh.
Time to gear up. So what are they? So they basically have 20 pairs of nunchucks, one Uzi, and some kind of weird fucking gun Jade had. I don't know what that was. It looked like a Lego gun.
Yeah, they had a lot of weird instruments, and
they're just polishing their nunchucks.
Yeah, they're just, and then of course, girl one mentions the hero. Hey, we took a video of the one guard, and he was like, "Oh, Shades? Yeah, that's the guard that killed the Malachi cops." How does he know that? How does anybody know that? But he's like, yeah, we know Shades.
We know who wouldn't know about Shades? I mean,
yeah,
that guy's fucking badass.
Exactly. So they're like, well, do you want to go watch the tape?
Hint, hint.
And he's like, well, I am feeling a little hot. I could use a breeze. So they go next door.
Yeah, it's like the next room over.
Yeah. And so we got girl 2 left with Jade. And girl 1 and hero
Down and Rowdy
watching the tape, and he's like, "Who's this woman?" She's like, "That's Colleen." How does she know who Colleen is?
Everybody on Molokai knows Colleen. She's everybody. If you're into frisbee, you know Colleen.
Okay.
So yeah, she's like, this is our in.
Yeah.
Frisbee.
And because girl 1 confirms, like, he takes his disc throwing seriously.
And he does, because he doesn't just throw it back and forth. When he gets it, he goes up around his leg and then throws it back.
The under the leg move every time. And the grin, bigger and bigger and big. Oh, god damn.
So like, hey, while we're in here, how about we fuck?
Yeah.
It's been 5 minutes since we've seen any tits.
Yeah, he's like, you think you can, she's like, you sent me here on purpose. And she's like, you think you can tell me what to do? And he's like, I think I know what I want to do. Top off, suck the nail polish right off your toes.
That's right.
I sadly remember way more of this movie than I thought. So they're going to get engaged in some of the most romantic, hot, sexual, boring sex I've never wanted to see.
Well, then they also have this great line. She goes, so, tell me, what do you feel?
Oh,
Whatever
man.
that even fucking means.
That's when they're wrapping things up.
And he's like, yeah, because he's like, oh! Meanwhile, like, Jade and, like, Taryn are like, what the hell? We know what's going on over there.
Exactly.
And I don't know what's going on because I'm seeing them and I'm like, what's going on? Because he's like naked sitting down and she's like in a blowjob position, but her head's like by his chest. She's licking the petroleum jelly off his chest.
That could be it. I mean, it's a very confusing
whatever it is, it's the best sex Rowdy's ever had because whatever she's doing to him, he's just like, oh!
That's one where he's going to go tell his friends about.
Well, Jade already knows what's going on.
Oh, good point. When he tells him about it later, he's going to be like, yeah, she measured my dick 4 inches. And he's going to be like, that's not so big. And he'd be like, measured from the ground up.
Zing!
You see, that's actually a callback. We didn't bring up that line earlier, but Girl 1...
Yes.
claims that Hero's dick is 4 inches up from the ground. God damn this movie.
So when you're right. So when they're finishing up, so Donna tells Rowdy, so tell me, what do you feel? First of all, I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? If someone asked me that. I go with my hand. I don't know what you mean. What do I feel?
Yeah.
And he comes back with this classic line: "One man's dream is another man's lunch."
Ugh.
And she goes, and this is the line I would use too. You son of a bitch.
So they wander back over next door. Guys, it took you really long. It must have been a long video. And he's like, well, we got a bite to eat afterwards. And they're just
I
like,
bet you did.
They're just like, I can guess what you had to eat. And he gives off a big, and, they're punching and jabbing each other. Fucking Jade was trying to show how tough he was, drinking vodka straight. Well, no, lemon peel.
Because we learned earlier in the movie that Taryn's drink of choice is a dry martini.
She's obsessed with James Bond.
Yes, because she's got all those fucking spy posters on her wall.
Yeah, she's always talking about how she wants all the Bonds to run a rail through her.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's the verbiage she used, not me.
Exactly what she said. So she, of course, will always have a dry martini, twist of lemon, shaken, not stirred. So Jade, who's by the way is with Edie.
Yeah,
you learn they have a relationship, but he plays the field a little bit. So he's like,
he's always trying to get people into him.
Yeah, so it's like I'm gonna impress her a little bit by showing her how I drink a martini.
Yep.
So he just grabs a bottle of vodka, shakes it up, bites into a wedge of lemon,
he tosses it in his mouth and just chews it. He's like, lemon peel, give it to me. Bottle of vodka, shaken, eats the peel or starts chewing on the peel and just starts chugging. And he looks at her and goes, "You impressed?" She's like, "I guess." And that's when they start hearing those sex moans. They're like, "What are they doing?" Fuck, man. Okay, so they're clearly preparing. How are the villains preparing for this? They're just trying to get info out of Edie at this point.
Well, also, while they're preparing their nunchucks, we get a very unnecessary scene of the female bodybuilder villainess doing some weird kind of nunchuck routine.
It was very interesting.
But she didn't even do it properly. Like, she was just, she wasn't twirling them around.
No, she wasn't twirling them. Yeah, you're right. She would maybe like extend them a little bit. She was buff as shit. She was probably, the most fit in this movie.
Right. So basically another time filler.
Yep.
So another 1 minute at a time. We need to get that 90 minutes.
Right.
So that's it. Serves no purpose.
So that cuts into a little bit more of the villain activity. They're doing some interrogation on Edie. And she's like tied up. She's got.
It's very reminiscent of New Barbarians. Not as elaborate. But
very,
there is a pulley system involved.
And she's got her hands tied together in front of her.
Right.
Not tight at all. This is where I thought it was weird because we're used to canon movies. And in canon movies, if there's ever a woman taken captive, I'm sorry to say it, but she's raped. This movie, however, they were very gentle with her. In fact, they wouldn't
These are
touch
fun
her.
movies, Griff. These aren't. I mean, canon is more on the real side of life. This is more of a fantasy world.
Yeah, and you know what? That really plays up in this scene because they're so afraid of hitting the woman. We're talking, I think,
Seth
Romero.
Yeah, he's there.
Romero is there. I think our Hawaiian bud was there. And they're so afraid to, they don't want to harm her. They
afraid
touch her
or respectful?
Respectful. You're right. It's respectful. I stopped myself before saying afraid because they're not afraid. They just won't do it. They're wearing gloves.
That's why you have a woman to do, woman henchwoman.
They're wearing gloves when they handle her, too. They're like, hey.
Kid gloves.
Yeah. They don't take her top off. They don't, unbutton a jean at all. Nothing.
We had just some boobs 3 minutes earlier.
It's true.
So Andy Sedaris was like, we need a break.
We had boobs, butt, and man moaning. So they were like, we'll cool it for a bit.
Right.
So when they're
I would guess more likely in her contract it only had one boob
maybe.
scene, so that was really
So
why.
they were like, well, we need to turn this interrogation up to about 4.5. So they're like, get her in here. I don't even remember her name. I'm gonna call her Tank.
Okay.
The tough woman.
I said China. I don't know.
China works because she is kind of she's got a deeper voice.
She's more feminine than the real China, but that's
definitely
female bodybuilder.
But they call her in to beat up Edie because they won't.
She's like, "What are you
her.
doing? I'm doing a fucking nunchuck routine right now."
And so she brings the nunchuck in and just takes out all of her aggression on the dudes who can't do their job and just starts pummeling Edie. But, of course, we're going to cut away from that. We don't need to see all that.
Right.
We're going to go back
we're
going to go back into the snake. What's the snake doing, Murray? He's getting in position, too. Everybody's getting into position. And I think this is where we get back to the heroes, though, and how they're kind of forming a plan, right?
I thought we already did form a plan.
They didn't really get down to the brass tacks there. But, basically, what do you remember what their plan was?
Their plan. Well, they watched that film before they fucked, and they're like,
well, they come back to the group and they all say, "Here's what we're gonna," and they have this second load up scene.
Right. So they're once again, Terrence polishing some nunchucks.
Yeah.
Jade's putting together some assault rifle.
They all have very ridiculous guns at this point.
And then brilliant guy that Rowdy, our hero, does. He's like, I got your fucking frisbee right here, Shades.
Yeah.
He makes this elaborate frisbee where he puts razor blades all along the edge of the frisbee.
Not hidden at all.
So we're getting to the scene that if anyone's ever heard of this movie, this scene. He's getting that frisbee ready. So then we cut to the next day. And he's on the beach.
Tomorrow, we kick ass and take names.
Oh, wow.
That was Hero's little pep speech before they went there.
That motivates me.
We're getting them at dawn. That was it. Go on.
So as always, Colleen is she loves her fucking frisbee too.
Yeah,
she's on the beach. Fucking Rowdy gets in his old man hammock, banana hammock.
Barely, just balls spilling out of there.
He's just like, hey, mind if I run with you? Sure,
of course.
So they're both running to Shades. And then, Shade's like, who's this guy?
Who's this nerd with you, Colleen?
And he's like, he's all right. He likes Frisbee, too.
Yeah.
So then there's a little, you can tell
he's got to prove himself.
Exactly.
So he gets out a good Frisbee, because he's got a nice little satchel with a gun and a couple Frisbees in it.
You can tell Shades is like, chump, you don't know Frisbee.
I love that Shades is in on first shoot basis. He's just like...
Well, when he sees a challenge to his Frisbee prowess, he's got to take it.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, he's like, excuse me, let me put my Uzi down on my little blanket.
The little blanket.
He's like, and then Rowdy throws it to him. He does that classic under the leg move.
Yeah.
Throws it back. Shit is getting intense.
Colleen is just watching two fucking legends of Frisbee just going at it. And she's like, I want to watch these Goliaths just fucking pummel each other. But Hero is just like, hey, Colleen,
why don't you beat it?
Just take a walk.
This is
and
man
she's
stuff
like,
here.
come on, I want to see this action. This is good shit. And he's like, take a walk. So she's like, okay, scampers away. But before she does,
he goes, hey, Colleen, you got a great ass. I just met you 5 minutes ago. You got a great
don't
ass.
mind the sexual harassment here, but you got a great ass.
And then she shoots back.
You too, Pilgrim. Is that what it was?
Yeah, she goes, you too, Pilgrim.
You too, Pilgrim.
And they're right. They both had great asses.
They do.
So she takes off, and then Rowdy's like, time to kill this motherfucker. So he's like, he does. It's a smoothest, it's like a magician.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so smooth.
Catches it, turns. So he's kind of got the satchel in between. His body's in between the satchel and Shades, and he's like, "Oh man, you are really good at catching this frisbee, but I got this different weight in here. That's where the men separate from the children."
So he does a smooth switcheroo.
Yeah, Shades is just like, fucking bring it on, man.
Whips
You ain't got
whips
nothing.
out the razor frizz, hurls it, chops off the fucking fingers of Shades right into his neck.
Oh my god. He just tries to catch it right at that perfect throw.
But even as he's dying, look of ecstasy. Shades is always happy.
Oh, he looks over at his Uzi on the blanket and
Never-
wrestling peacefully.
Never loses his shades. Even though he
yeah.
dies, his shades stay on.
I bet they came up and they didn't even lower his eyes. They were just like stapled the shades to his face. They're like, may you never lose your shades.
He was definitely buried in those shades.
He was. So
now time for the assault. We got rid of Shades, because Shades was the only guy who was at all competent.
Oh, yeah. And he had the walkie-talkie. They would have called in the army, apparently.
Right. So Donna, she gets in her little motorized hang glider, and she's like, all right, well, I'm gonna soften them up for you first. I'm gonna drop some grenades?
Noise grenades.
Noise grenades.
Donna, sorry, girl one, why don't you go ahead and fly over, because she's on a hang glider. Fly over and drop those noise grenades. She's pretty much pummeling her own people with these noise grenades.
I'm going to say they're prepared. They had earplugs.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, so she's doing that. Meanwhile, Taryn, who has no training in any of this shit, sure, come along. So she's just fucking have the time of her life. She's just shooting the fuck out of people. Meanwhile, Rowdy, as we've learned, can't shoot fucking straight at all. He's missing. He took 6 shots to shoot a guy, and Jade let him know about it. So
yeah, they're having all kinds of fun. Murder is happening. They're getting shot at, and they're all just like, "This is great! Isn't Hawaii amazing?"
So they kill all the outside guards and make it inside. Jade runs into this guy, and I think this guy was a Nan Chang guy. Even though he's a bad guy, maybe so, because he was like, I think I've told you this,
dude.
When you meet up with a black scorpion and an Nan Chang, you have to fight like men. You cannot use weapons unless the weapon is your
You
opponent's.
could tell there was confliction, and there was a great amount of respect there.
Yes,
because he's got the rocket launcher.
Right.
Don't mind that he's a foot away from him, because this rocket launcher's explosions are whatever, non-existent. But Hero's gonna come in. I almost said Rowdy. I had to correct myself.
Wow, thank God. I'm glad you caught that.
Rowdy comes in, and Jay just looks at him and goes, "Hey, take this for me." Throws him the rocket launcher. He's like, "I got this guy, no probalo." And so they're gonna show down Nang Chen versus Scorpion Tail.
Who is better?
Who is better? Well,
and of course, Nang Chen's better because he wins.
Yeah.
It wasn't that very good a choreographed fight.
No, it was pretty terrible. There's a moment where beads are cut off of Jade. And
and that's when shit got real.
Yeah.
Jade is like, you just cut my beads, motherfucker. I was just going to incapacitate you. Now I'm going to kill you.
There's no mention of beads. I don't know where the beads come into play, but it was like, oh, fuck, you fucked this guy's beads. You're in shit now. So guy had a knife.
Jade whips out the little tiger claw hand things like ninjas wear to climb shit, trees.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's on, motherfucker.
And he just starts slitting them, just slashing slits.
And then he says, what classic line he says?
Oh shit! What is it?
Life is a bitch.
Until you die.
And then you die.
Oh, and then you die.
And then he goes, "Ugh!" And then it slashes the guy's throat with a tiger claws.
God damn, that was intense. So he's got to go meet up with everybody else. They're all just having fun. They're shooting people. They shoot Michelle in the face. Girl 1 and girl 2 are laughing about. You see that cross-dresser?
That's
We
true.
Just shot the shit out of him, her. I don't know. I don't care. She's dead now.
Right,
He's
that
dead
was
now.
Terrence's kill. She got because everyone got a good kill.
Everybody did.
And then
Good
meanwhile,
point.
Muscle Chick's like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." So she jumps in the helicopter,
Yep.
takes off, and then Donna's like, motherfucker." She all of a sudden has the fucking rocket launcher.
Rowdy
hands it to her because he's like, "I can't shoot shit."
Rowdy shows up into one room, and there's a guy in there with an Uzi, of course. And you never bring an Uzi to a rocket launcher fight. So with precision accuracy from about 3 feet away, he hits him with a rocket, and the explosion contains itself enough to just propel him all the way out 4 miles off coast, just launches him out there, and then explodes. And then, they all meet up, the 4 of them. Hey, did you see me kill that guy? Hey, did you see me kill that guy? Oh, did you hear what I said? Life's a bitch and then you die.
They're like, "Oh, by the way, Edie's still in there."
Yeah, Edie's still in.
Oh, and then so Jade's like, "I guess I'll go free her." So he goes in.
Because it's his lady. Yeah.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
And then Donna's like, "I haven't killed anybody with a rocket launcher yet." And Rowdy's like, "Well, here you go." He hands her the rocket launcher, and she just blows the fuck up out of the helicopter.
Again, you don't bring a helicopter to a rocket launcher fight.
Right. And they learned it. They learned a hard ticket lesson.
So, movie's over, right?
No.
Oh, shit. We still have a boss out there, don't we? We still have 2 bosses out
Seth
there.
But, yeah, so
they pile into the van.
yeah, they just find a van.
There's the motorbike in the back of the van.
Right.
And
everyone's there, but Donna, for some reason, is gone.
Yeah, girl 1 not there. Apparently, she hops in the hang glider again, maybe?
That's what I'm going to guess. I don't know. Well,
Okay.
I mean, those things cost a lot of money. You don't want to just leave them there.
Okay.
So
She apparently...
she goes back to the bungalow.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, shit, we forgot Seth Romero's still alive." So Rowdy's like, "All right, I guess I'll go kill him." So he takes off on the motorbike,
Yeah.
flies out of the van, goes... For some reason, he knows he's going to be at Donna's bungalow. I don't know how. Samurai Sixth Sense is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Where was the van going?
I don't know. I thought they were going to the bungalow.
I thought they were too. I don't get it. The logistics. So, anyways, night's falling. Fallen. It's already nighttime. The crew hasn't showed up.
Not only is that shit going on, we get a little snake action too.
Oh my
where
God,
we
the
see the
snake
snake finally go. He leaves the bungalow for a few days, comes back, goes into the sewer line finally.
Yes.
That we saw like in the first half of the movie get uncovered.
Yeah.
And then he's just gone again.
So he's going to be hanging out in that sewer line. Ooh, how could that resurface?
So meanwhile, Donna's just chilling at her bungalow.
Yeah, and her tiny, skimpy little, nightwear. And who else shows up?
Seth Romero.
He's
He's like, "You don't ruin my marijuana farm and get away with it."
Oh, yeah. Where are my diamonds?
So he chases her with a knife. She runs and hides in a closet.
Best
Very reminiscent
idea
of Halloween. I got a very Halloween vibe.
Very much Halloween. Good point. Of course, it's got a lock on the door, so she shuts it. But it's like
a lock on the inside. You'd put that on a closet.
Oh, of course. And of course, it's got shutters to it, like you would see in windows or whatever, wood shutters. And so he's gonna start knifing through the shutters.
Yeah.
But what did she find?
Well, she just happened to have a spear gun. There. So thankfully, Seth will not attack her until he has every single slat cut out of the door.
So he starts at the top to the doorknob. So top left.
So that gives her plenty of time to load up the spear gun.
Yep.
So he finally unlocks the door, opens it, and boom! She shoots him
right in the chest.
Right in the chest. Done. He's done.
Yep. Falls over, bleeding out. She goes and gives him a couple knees. You fucker, spits in his face like, "I told you I'd get you." And she goes and hides in the bathroom.
Right. She's just like,
just trying to kind of gather herself.
Grabs a Kleenex, wipes off her boob sweat.
Yeah, a little bit of boob
throws
sweat
it
there.
in the toilet, flushes the toilet, which of course would cause the snake to shoot up right out of the toilet.
Yeah, she's like kind of suspicious of the toilet for a minute there. I was like, what is happening? Why is
The
she
toilet
looking
explodes for some reason.
yeah, I was like, why is she looking at the toilet? And then all of a sudden, she hits the flusher, and fucking snake explodes. Electricity. It looked like that scene from Snake Eater 3. Go watch Snake Eater 3. That's what Snake Eater 3 is a reference
you're
to.
right. That is a very call to Snake Eater 3.
How are these dots being connected? And nobody notices it, but...
well, when you're QAnon, you know how to connect the dots.
Good point. So
she's like, fuck! She runs out.
Snake's in play now.
Meanwhile, guy was just shot like in the heart with a harpoon.
You brought up Michael Myers in Halloween. Guy was pulling his own Michael Myers. He's just like, fuck, that can't kill me. Stands right back up. Starts coming at her again.
And at this time, this is when Rowdy on the motorbike crashes right through the window.
There's a little bit of a scuffle first.
Is there?
Because this snake, for the second time, saves the day.
Oh, I forgot. He
Dude,
killed Seth.
how did you forget?
I don't know. I
Seth,
thought he got...
the unkillable person. Shot in the face. Harpoon through the heart. Finally, the cancerous snake with the acidic bite that kills you within 30 seconds.
Right.
Fucking tears him a new one. And then the snake just pops himself into the kitchen, and Donna's now left alone with the snake.
Oh, okay.
And so she's got a gun. Why didn't she shoot Seth? Whatever. And so she takes aim
Thank
at
God
the...
she didn't, because she needed it for the steak.
She takes aim... This is not an anaconda snake like from that movie Anaconda, where it's like head is the size of, like a human's chest. It's a little snake.
No, it's a pretty big snake.
Okay, it's a big snake.
It's
like a softball-sized head.
If you're talking about comparing it to like real-life snakes, it's a big snake.
Yeah,
'cause it's a puppet. It's enough for a person's hand to fit in the head, because that's exactly what it is.
Easily. Okay. Yeah, good point.
So,
yeah, Donna starts shooting the shit out of it.
Shoots it like twice in the face.
Yeah, it's knocking teeth
As we know,
out.
though, every time Donna shoots someone in the face, it doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
I bet that snake had a black scorpion tail.
Ooh.
We didn't see the end of the snake.
It would be pretty great if we go back and look at it frame by frame. They didn't make a laser disc, so unfortunately I didn't have like extra layer, But so the
she's like, fuck, what am I going to do? I shot him in the face twice, and he's still coming. This is where Rowdy shows up. He could have just stopped his bike and like walked in the front door, but that's not what an action hero does. He rides right through like a window on his motorbike with rocket launcher in hand, jumps off, blows the fucking snake all to hell with a rocket launcher.
finally. So
that's it, right? That's it. That's the end of the movie. The end.
Finally,
cut to the credits.
Oh, fuck! We have one more boss.
Mr. Chang.
One more boss. How could they even chime in the music to be like, "Hey guys, the movie's over." Movie's not over.
You're like, guys, we got 5 minutes. We only have an hour and 25 minutes. We need 5 more minutes. Okay, let's get Mr. Chang.
So they all pile up into like a limo.
That's right.
They drive out to
That's
the city.
very classy way to do it.
All these tall buildings. Everyone gets out, and they're like, no. Just me and Donna. Rowdy and Donna.
Right. Jade, Taryn, you stay here in the limo.
So no guards, no nothing, no people in this building whatsoever. They just pop right up to the top floor.
Yeah, like the penthouse.
Yup. And, of course, Big Chief or whatever his name was.
Mr. Chang.
Mr.
Who
Chang.
is half Chinese, half European, very suave.
Thanks for bringing that up, because they made a point to tell us for reasons. So they're just going to
because the actor is a white guy, and you'd be wondering, why is a white guy playing a guy Mr. Chang? So they're like, he's half Chinese. So it must be the lower half. So they go into his apartment. He's got his like musclehead bodyguard. And how do they? Doesn't they beat him with nunchucks? I don't remember what they do.
Well, they are gonna. So they beat the fuck with nunchucks out of the bodyguard. They just pummel the fuck. It's brutal. Like, this movie, for as fun and light and titty filled as it was, they get brutal. It looked like
you
one
get
of those,
for working for like a drug czar.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate. Like, if you ever watch any of those recent police brutality videos, like the live leaks, that's basically what this looks like. It's brutal as fuck, dude.
Yeah, they smash his face they Rodney King his ass, and he's just like, yeah, fucked up. And then Mr. Chang's freaking out. He's like, in a pig's ass, you'll take me.
Oh, yeah. And during this kerfuffle, he's gone and grabbed a katana off the wall because he's half Chinese.
Yeah,
or
well,
whatever.
katana, which everybody
And
knows is
he
Japanese for sword.
It by, like, using his right hand to, like, take the back of the sword.
No one knows how to use, like, non-gun weapons because they just go, I throw it? So he hurls the katana at him like a spear.
They're like, put that down. He pulls out a gun. Rowdy pulls out a gun. Donna pulls out a bigger gun.
She's got a Dirty Harry gun.
She beats him to the draw. Fucking blows Big Chief out the window.
That's right. And then, but he did throw the sword. It hits right between him and the wall. And they're like, whoa, that was a close one.
Of course, everybody downstairs sees the corpse fall.
Great shitty stunt dummy.
They laugh, of course, because they don't give a shit about murder.
Yeah.
Good. The guy's dead.
They're bad guys.
Oh, man. Have you ever seen a brain explode? Yeah, 4 times yesterday. No big deal.
So they're like, time to party, guys. So they head all back to the Malibu Express, Rowdy's boat.
And that's where we find, like, everything's coming to a resolve. And Donna's just like, well, we got to turn in those diamonds. And Girl 2 is just
Taryn's like, I don't think so.
I'm a civilian, and they're my diamonds. And considering no one's claimed them, I'm claiming them. And considering I can do whatever with that I
Meanwhile,
want.
these are probably stolen diamonds, and someone did claim them. But who needs that, you know?
It's resolved, Murray. This movie finally setting sail. See, because they're on a boat, setting sail.
So they're like, hey, you're right. We can commit a crime because with a technicality. Because we're not taking the diamonds. You are.
We're still good policemen.
And then we just fade out to some good times.
Oh, ticket to Hawaii.
And then all through the credits, we see the boob scenes all over again, every single one. And we enjoy them just as much as we did the first time.
I guess.
Oh, you don't like boobs, I forgot.
Yep. So yeah.
That's it. Hard ticket to Hawaii.
So I don't know. We didn't really talk about this beforehand. What did we have lined up next week?
Griff, I'm excited.
I hope so.
Well, normally I'm
not. We
I
mostly do this for each other.
No,
so.
I'm totally faking it almost every time.
Oh,
but this time I'm not faking it. Because you know how, actually last week we talked about your favorite action movie hero of all time, Jean-Claude?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We're going to talk about my childhood favorite action movie hero.
Oh, boy.
It's not a canon movie, sorry guys, but it's fucking... It's as good as a canon movie. We're talking about my man, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, shit.
The Terminator. No, we're not covering the Terminator. We're covering something even better.
I don't know if I like where you're going here. Where are you going?
The Running Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. A movie that should have been made by Canon. It had that Canon look, that Canon quality. It's good. It's Canon enough for us. So next week... we can talk about my dude, the Schwarzenegger. Is he ever called the Schwarzenegger? I don't know what he's called.
Just by you, apparently.
The Schwarzenegger.
All right. Well, everybody, make sure to follow the nice Twitter feed we got there.
Yeah, make sure, at G&G Theater.
It's a good time.
If you ever want to know what each episode's about, I always try to give a picture or a GIF. It's a GIF, right? Or is it GIF?
It's GIF.
GIF. And we give a little explanation of what each episode is so you know. And you can tell your friends and your
easily spread the word without feeling too guilty about getting in everybody's ear.
Right.
Yeah. It's very
doing
things.
So we'll see you next week and keep it warm.
Yeah, and don't forget about the tickets to Hawaii.